Behind the Lens, a lurid tale of refraction and aperture. Still the title. Still the title. Oof, try harder, Pixar. Yikes. Sheboygan.
Hollywood.
Oh.
Brilliant tinsel city of lights and fantasy.
Never heard of it.
Hollywood. Glorified, glittering, fascinating, fabulous, mythical kingdom.
Good mythical morning.
Hollywood, the glamour capital of the world.
Try our McDonald's.
Hollywood reaches far, carrying its cargo of dreams to almost every city and village in America. To these people, to you and to me, the motion pictures bring magic.
And tax breaks.
Yet the motion pictures today are learning to put more than romance upon the screen.
There's also misogyny and propaganda.
A new era in motion pictures has been born. The movies have been given a college education.
And crippling student
Now
loan
the
debt.
camera is seeing things for science, with beauty, drama, and action played from a scenario written as only nature could write it.
Oh, like stag films?
How do growing things grow? Perhaps this same question has bothered you when your nice, clean lawn has overnight become a playground for dandelions.
A film by Terrence Malick.
A special type of motion picture called time-lapse photography shows you,
Seen it.
perhaps a little late, what happened to your front yard.
Hey, don't make this about me.
To photograph the growth of a dandelion, this time-lapse camera, unlike ordinary movie cameras, takes separate pictures at long intervals.
Yeah, like a camera.
Speeded up on the screen, the gradual changes take place in a few seconds as we watch the life of the golden but pesky dandelion.
Well, how did you think they got
The
there?
long time lapse between pictures emphasizes the gradual changes so that we may more easily see the difference between stages in the growth. Here, in time-lapse photography, are two roses.
Moses supposes his...
Smaller
Oh,
plant
never
is
mind.
growing in normal soil. The larger has been given special nourishment. This comparison, made possible by technical photography, has been invaluable to the science of growing things.
Now we know which one is bigger.
Just as it can photograph things too slow to watch, the scientific motion picture camera can also help us see things that happen too fast for our eyes to follow.
You just described my childhood.
Like our eyes, the ordinary camera misses a lot when the action is fast.
Scientists call this the spaz effect.
However, a type of photography called slow motion
Seen
gives
it.
our eyes time to see all the details of action that ordinarily pass unnoticed.
And for good reason.
A slow motion camera is simply a camera that has been geared up to take a lot of pictures in a hurry.
Like a tourist being chased by a
Slow-down
lion.
effect is produced when these pictures are projected on the screen at normal speed.
Go Sandy Duncan.
Here is a super slow motion study of the flight of an arrow.
Cool.
See how the lazy push of the bowstring sends the arrow floating sedately to the target?
That's no way to treat a cheese wheel.
This picture, taken with an ultra-high-speed camera, shows how Kitty uses her tail as a lever to help her turn over in midair. And that's why cats always land on their feet and come up smiling. Or do they?
Meow, meow, consent, meow, meow.
Watch it again. This ability of the scientific slow-motion camera to reveal details of lightning-quick motion is of tremendous importance in modern industrial research.
And Michael Bay movies.
Scientists and engineers in industry have been quick to make use of this marvelous new tool. For example, studying the effects of bumps, jolts, and rough roads on the riding qualities of the automobile forms a branch of engineering all by itself.
Called vehicular
In
manslaughter.
this test run on a rough road, the wheels, tires, and springs move up and down too rapidly for the ordinary movie camera to see what is happening.
Really?
So the high-speed camera makes a real contribution by showing exactly what takes place as the wheels strike each bump.
They bounce. The
First,
end.
we see how the tire yields to soften the blow. However, the main force of the jolt is absorbed by the individual spring suspension of the knee action units.
Oh, yeah, I can see them
The
now.
scientific camera also shows the action of the stabilizing arm in preventing side sway on curves.
Tokyo Drift behind the scenes.
Now we're going to see something that doesn't happen every day on the road.
A monkey bar mitzvah.
These bumps are spaced to give a real beating to the wheels. And the purpose of the test is to see what happens to the front and rear ends of the car.
Titanic wasn't this predictable.
Here is the way you would see the test.
With your pathetic Earth eyes.
And now, here is the slow motion study made by the camera of science. In such a picture, the engineers could see that the pitching motion had been balanced out so that the car rides on an even keel.
It's slightly slower thanks
The
to
reason for
science.
this shows up if we magnify the movement of the front wheels and then compare their action side by side with a magnified picture of the rear wheels on the same bumps as the car drives at high speed over the test road.
Now do a fat guy running.
During the course of their college career, the movies have learned another startling trick.
Prequels.
The scientific camera can magnify heat waves so that even the slightest degree of heat becomes visible.
Oh, I think that's just called fire.
This technique is known to scientists as Schlieren photography.
Ask for it by
A
name.
tiny mirror, the size of a pinhead, is mounted just in front of the camera lens.
This technical breakthrough allows Tom Cruise to be filmed.
Some distance ahead, a large concave mirror is accurately mounted. A brilliant light is focused so that its rays fall directly into the pinhead mirror.
This adds 10
The
pounds.
rays are reflected into the big concave mirror.
And this steals your soul.
Then they are bounced back toward the camera lens.
Boy, it's a lot of work just to make Jumanji.
As these light rays travel back and forth, they are bent and distorted by any waves in the air. The bending produces a wavy image on the motion picture film. In this magic Schlieren photography, heat takes on a flame-like appearance.
Oh, like that flame
Notice
right there?
the actual flame at the center, surrounded by heat waves. Rubbing two sticks together in Schlieren photography gives encouragement to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and general out-of-doors people who feel that it is possible to start a fire that way.
Are you paid by the
The
word?
violent rubbing or friction generates heat. And where there's enough heat, who knows? Someday there may be fire.
Sorry, just a little
The
joke.
photography of heat has a very practical use in the perfection of modern hydraulic brakes.
Period.
In an automobile brake, a great deal of heat is generated by friction each time the lining is forced against the drum to stop the wheel.
Jesus, stop the wheel.
Schlieren photography shows how cooling fins and ridges on the outside of the drum carry the heat away as rapidly as it is developed.
Go to hell, heat.
In spite of its lofty college education and its practical engineering uses, the scientific camera has time for some amusing and human experiments.
Did you say inhuman
And here,
experiments?
For the first time on the screen is the warmth of a handshake.
$8 million in grant money for
On
this.
the other hand, there's the well-known fishy or charmed to meet you clasp.
Ew, clammy.
Now let's try a little Schlieren photography to see if there really is any warmth in a warm greeting.
Yes, let's.
Well, for once,
Yikes, they're
Cupid
radioactive.
seems to agree with science. My. Ain't science wonderful?
I didn't realize Natural Born Killers was a remake. Well, I'm going to go give my camera a scratch on the belly. Good night.